the North Cat, baby, I'm a boss. Carolina barbecue sauce with the slaw. I'm the safe, the cellar, and the vault. I'm the best, the effect, and the cause. I'm the law.
CSA at the moment is not just showing the same capacity. I'm not saying they're bad, man. They're actually really good. Just ROIDS are stronger at the moment.
Yeah, so ROIDS here from the attacking side, 4-1 up, taking the 1-1 on Live Oaks, wiping Sand River, and taking the first round on Himmelsdorf so far. So, CSA, it's now or never, guys. You're going to have to make a round in because they're going to drop some rounds going on to Cliff and Prokhorovka most likely, and they're going to run out unless they take at least one here.
Well, CSA will have advantage of being the defenders here. That is... LI is the time, but Himmelsdorf, honestly, time is never that needed. Map is not that huge. Rotations are always point blank. You don't go from the, I don't know, rail part to back to the hill to rotate. It just doesn't happen.
I've seen something slightly unusual. I just want to say quickly that from CSA on the south, where they're sending just a solo batch out to the hill and then a very heavy stack on the 3 line.
Huge line is on a 3 line plus couple of tanks on 1-2. Covered by 50B. 268 playing really aggressive here. Sweetman, this is not something you actually that often see.
Yeah, he dropped a lot of HP there at the beginning, but you can see as well on the hill, ROIDS is moving up 4 tanks to support their batchat. That's going to be very important because from that hill position, you can support your guys on the mid, you can support your guys over the field. Nice kill on Unji from Camille there. That's a really good one-to-one batchat trade. That's really good.
Was he the only one shooting him? Didn't anyone else connect? Do you think?
Guess, yeah, Unji is very exposed there. He was on the top when normally you can play that hull down. And just expose your turret and maybe a small bit of your hull, but he was fully on the top. That's maybe a misplay from Unji. But now ROIDS has that full hill control, which is very important for controlling the field and for controlling the 3 line, which is where CSA had a lot of their tanks. But they're actually going to relocate, and they're coming up the hill now with some heavies, as we can see on the K line.
CSA is now pulling some forces back so they can do a counter push toward the hill. I don't know, is it the best play, because in that kind of moment they should be susceptible from counter push from other sides. Also, tanks on the top of the hill, ROIDS will have a better position, so if there is not enough tanks pushing them, they will be lost in a crossfire.
Yeah, it's going to be very difficult for these tanks from CSA to actually do any sort of a retake here on the hill, which is, I guess, their intention. You know, they're going up with WZs, 277s, 113s, these sort of tanks where you just have to make a push in, but they're going to be into a crossfire.
Enough tanks, but I don't think they have enough tanks.
It's going to, yeah, they don't have enough tanks, and it's going to be into a crossfire. Everything is stacked against them, so I think once they get spotted here, as they have been spotted, they're actually going back.
Feely ran away with 50B immediately. What did we say before? 50B never first in action, never first line. So they're leaving Alpha in his Super Conqueror to proxy them. You can see how he's peeking up, so he will, with the top of his turret, actually see something above the trouble and not take any damage for it. And he is preparing the groundwork for the rest of the guys. Again, let us not forget, ROIDS are attacking now. So far, so good for them. They did initial damage killing the Batchat. Camille is still alive, plus Sweetman on his TD on the 2 line is on really low HP. And it's gonna be much about this push.
Look at the positioning on these conks. You've got the wreck from Unji and you've got Alpha on the rubble. This is serving these conks absolutely perfectly to create this crossfire here on CSA.
Unji didn't die there. Did they push him there?
No, he did die there. He died on the top. I mentioned it earlier, it was a really bad peek by him, and you've got this huge crossfire from these conks that's dealing so much damage right now on the pushing in. Tanks from CSA, their WZs are dropping a lot of HP, and there's 50B supporting these conks as well on the back, so it's not easy to push. Shokic is finally getting pushed out of his position, but they've spent so much HP to get to this point.
Generally, Shokic is getting pushed so far because there is no follow-up by ROIDS from the other side. They're selling out the super conks. You can see it, 50Bs and everyone else. It looks like they're actually...
No, they're coming back. They're looping it back. They want to push on these guys. I guess they feel like they have enough HP, they have enough tanks, they have enough shells right now, because they have 2 50Bs, which is a huge clip for us. They can actually pick off some of these 113s if they make a full commit, and this is going to be really important. This is going to showcase the skill. If they can pull it off, this could be a really nice play.
Kerryberry is first in line here. Ondra and Los Rados are the first in a focus here by the 50Bs. Stefan has 1 more shell, and that's it. He has to pull back now. The number of tanks of CSA is dropping rapidly. It's not only the fight happening here, man. Everywhere else on the map, which we neglected completely. ROIDS pushed. They completely overran the rail. They completely overran the 8 line, and only a couple of tanks are surviving in the middle of the map.
Yeah, CSA had to commit so many tanks on this hill to retake it that they left their lower side undefended. compared to what ROIDS had, and ROIDS actually did a full push there on the 1-2-3 line, took over that side. All the tanks that we saw from CSA there initially relocated to the hill, so there was a huge weakness there, and they're actually finishing off these tanks very quickly, and they're going to cap.
Yeah, this is a classic play. You have, even if you lose a rail on upper side, if you have enough tanks, you want to put the tanks behind the cap line and to clear out the rest. Now the CSA is doing the smartest possible thing because they're leading in HP. They have Philo here with type 5 plus a super conqueror, so they're covering the back of a church, so ROIDS don't have the safe cap. On the other hand, they're getting shot from several sides because of that, because they have to buy time for their guys to come back from the hill. Only thing going here for CSA at the moment is they have less number of guns, but they have more stacked HP on a couple of tanks, while ROIDS have a lot of guys on one shot like this. And this is the way the CSA actually has a chance to win.
2 seconds just left on the clock. It goes back up to 8 seconds as there's a reset coming out now, but Elian is shielded behind Kaizu. He's actually going to be able to keep going to cap, and then no reset from CSA! And that's a cap out on Himmelsdorf.
That's it! It did happen in the last second, but it only prolongs the game for 6 seconds. It actually doesn't negate the result.
That was close. Okay.
Okay, this was a super close. Look,
that was really
look
nice.
At the HP. It's almost identical, man.
Yeah, that was really nice. That was right down to the wire there. CSA had a good rotate when they came back down from the hill, but it was a few seconds too slow. They
ROIDS were forced to use
resets.
pretty much borderlines of a cap to do it. Like, they were not able, because of die fire and Kong, to do it from other side. They could not go from the side over the hill because other guys, so they had to use every remaining square millimeter left.
I mean, the damage, there's not really too much you can read into this apart from maybe the damage from the ROIDS conk on the hill. So maybe ROIDS fixed a few things in their tactics, and CSA as well got to analyze a bit how they played.
Change something unless they're relying on pure skill and just go standard middle and then react.
Yeah, so we're seeing actually the 2 arties coming out from CSA in the south. We saw, I think it was GX using that yesterday, very ineffective against how ROIDS was playing it, so we'll have to see how that one plays out.
Maybe CSA thinks like they have a better plan for RT. Let's not forget, like when GX played this, they even didn't have a STRV on K4 position.
Yeah, that's true. GX had a lot of misplays, so obviously CSA has a lot more time now and maybe a bit more experience to think about how they need to organize how they're going to play this one. So big eye you need to keep on the split right now. CSA spending a lot of tanks on the 3 line as is typical. ROIDS going a lot more towards the middle, and that's just based on...
It's a similar play what GX did, but with a catch. They are sending immediately 1 medium plus an STRV in the back toward the K4 position, while ROIDS are playing similar but not the same. They're sending more tanks to the 2 line than they did yesterday.
Oh, so they have a full info right now, so everything coming onto the reaction from ROIDS, the 277s all peeking on the 2 line, getting as much damage as they can right now, but taking a lot of damage in return. But the important thing that you need to watch out for is the 907s from ROIDS right now coming from the middle. They're going to try and pincer all of these guys on the ramp. This is going to be really important that CSA needs to focus fire. They need to push up, because the 277s on the lower side won't have shots if they push up. This is huge right now.
It's a hornet nest, man. The trigger. Look at this counter push going on, plus a TVP now that will come from the back. Ili and is there already ready with the next clip. Feely is down, but it doesn't change the fact. Sigo and Saka are dead. Duck is getting focused next, and Unji will follow very shortly. This battle, this side of battle is already over, man. Look at this. We are only a minute and a half in the game, and already half of the CSA is dead.
This is a huge play right now from ROIDS, just playing full-on info, full-on coordination, and they just pincered CSA on this ramp, taking out all of their mediums, just 1 or 2 guys left on the positions, the lights brawling away on the hill, and STRVs in the back. This is going very one-way for ROIDS, and this is exactly what we were talking about. It's all about the ratio of where you're sending your tanks at the beginning. Too many tanks from CSA not reacting quick enough to the push from ROIDS.
Ay caramba, this didn't go well, man. Like, this was a brilliant, super fast reaction by ROIDS. No hesitation, which is super important for Cliff. If you want to play Cliff in Clan War, you gotta play it like that. You can't hesitate against any better team.
This is probably going to be the quickest round, I think, in the tournament. What, 2.5 minutes? I think the previous quickest I saw was 3.5 or 3 minutes 50 seconds.
And this is attack.
Yeah.
But, like,
oh,
man, this is going
crashing.
to 6-1. I mean, coming back from this as CSA,
that's a huge defeat right now on CSA, to lose in just, 2 minutes or whatever, or it was even lost in the first minute and 10 seconds. Like, there was, at a certain point, there was just no recovery, where ROIDS was just completely swarming them in a massive crossfire, and it's just so much. Oh, was that a pen by artillery? Nice. But there's just so much of a crossfire on the CSA guys, where they didn't really have an opportunity to do anything. ROIDS has the upper position, they have the lower, they can coordinate much easier on who they're focus firing.
Double RT.
Potentially last round. Double RT from both sides on Cliff is a bit unusual. ROIDS on the south as well. A green. I guess that 2 RT is required to play, so we'll have to see how that one goes.
Double RT slower paced game a bit by both. ROIDS defending with those, and CSA actually attacking with those. But that still doesn't mean there will not be a conflict in the start. And Stefan is actually playing a 50B.
Yeah, that's for
now.
a 2-line clip.
Yeah, but that's not something you often see on a map like Cliff. I can't remember last time I seen 50B actually.
Well, it's just a replacement for the TVP. It's just a bit easier to get the damage out, I suppose. And if you expect an ever so slightly prolonged fight, it is a bit more effective. It has more HP as well, stuff like that.
It is also bigger and slower a bit.
The commitment from ROIDS as well is very similar to what we saw from CSA. A lot of 907s, a lot of 277s, these kind of tanks coming in on the 2-line, crossing over. But CSA actually has a full commitment on the upper side.
This is something I expected, that they're gonna leave on B2, the 277. When I was watching some of the streams, like they were using even I7, that's an old Gold League position if you remember. For watching down, you leave one spotter in a bush and then you have one guy there in a base and you create a crossfire. Bachat, where Unji is also super important position for shooting the hill. So I would like actually spectator to show it. It's a commonly used position by many of the guys. You can see you go from upper side and then you drop here. You have the bushes and cooldown you can use to clip out whenever needed. This is also very important and interesting.
The boost master back at it again.
Yeah. He's using the back boost here, so he can go unspotted over the hill and assist his light. Also, in the process, he's spotting the right side of the battlefield, so if there is a flanking force from CSA coming here, they will see him. Like, this is something interesting to see. It's not easy to do. It's not the hardest thing in the world, to be honest, compared to the old boosts. But there is many points here where you can slip up with the mechanics.
Yeah, at least on the old boost, you wouldn't die every time you fell off.
Yeah,
so
here when you fall, it's like, yeah,
you hit one random rock and you just explode. So ROIDS taking the hill control here, which offers them a lot of advantage in terms of spotting, where CSA is going to be quite restricted in terms of how they can rotate all these 907s.
Yeah, when you have 2 RTs control of the hill and you don't want to play anything fast.
We can see a lot of damage coming out here to Philo. Just as we were mentioning the artilleries, he's getting proxied on that position, getting spotted all the time. He's eventually going to run out of HP and he's going to have to go down. And that drops a lot of information from CSA. They don't really have spots on the mid.
What is the prime function on RT in a game like this? What do you want to shoot first?
I would say the 430 in the middle, just to knock out that middle spot. Because right there, he is spotting the rotations from F3 from ROIDS. He's spotting guys in the mid. So that's going to be the key location right now. But we can see the big push coming out from CSA, overtaking the 9 line right now, trying to get in behind ROIDS, farm their middle, put them in a bit of a pincer. How is ROIDS going to react to this?
They're trying to pin those light and the medium up, so they don't have really where to run from 2 RTs. Because let's not forget, CSA also has 2 RTs, so they can shoot. But there is a shot here. This is what I was actually thinking might happen. A light tank, did he spot or just blind shoot the RT?
On this kind of a map, I think it would be blinds, to be honest. There's not so many positions you can sit with the artilleries, and there's no way you can spot them that far away.
Let's see where is Papa exactly, because that's the position Papa Pavian shot RT from. This is something like crucial for this kind of game, because loss of 1 RT for CSA when they're putting everything in a basket for that, that's a big difference. Killing the 430U, as Niall said, that's one of the crucial things for RT. Not just killing, like they don't have to kill him, pushing him back. So he loses the proxy spot, and then you can do all kind of rotation through the middle, and you're limited only by 1 guy spotting then the Bachat from that position behind those bushes. But he's limited in what he can see.
And we can see CSA is actually moving back here. They seem to be a little bit on the back foot.
This is the position where Papa killed RT from. He probably even maybe saw Tracer physically going, you know, and he was like, oh, there you are.
Yeah, and then he has that clip as well, so he can fire off 2 or 3 shots to try and knock out the artillery. It's not just a single shot gun, so really important to note that as well.
It's so important to have such experienced players and self-aware to play such crucial positions. Like playing a light in a game like this, that's not an easy feat. Yeah,
and Papa's one of the most experienced light players, and on Cliff as well. He's a very experienced player on Cliff, having played in Utopia for many seasons. Oh, he actually lost a lot of HP there. And Philo, you can see very rapidly running out of HP. 1 more RT shot on him, and he will probably go down on this position. Oh, we can see it just missed. So lucky him, he gets to survive another maybe minute or 2 until the next artillery shells come in. Unji actually getting blinded a bit here by
but
ROIDS.
Let's face it, CSA is stuck in upper corner of the map, far away from their own cap. They don't have the control of the middle hill, and whatever they want to do will cost them heavily in blood and metal, man.
Yeah, and you can see they're trying it again. They're going back on the 9 line, trying to do the pincer again with the same tank, same position. Will ROIDS be better prepared for it this time? We'll have to see if they manage to take a lot more HP off them right now, because CSA has a lot of... Oh, that's a nice artillery hit. That's killing 2 crew members on Loki as well.
Thank God for big medikits, man.
Yeah, so this is really important right now from CSA. They're trying to make a push, they're trying to make some sort of movement on this map, but it doesn't seem to be happening right now. HP is still very even, the number of tanks is very even, but position-wise, ROIDS has a huge advantage.
Let's see how his master of redlining's failing the shots, finally.
So yeah, CSA trying to take the outside right now, but there's a lot of very exposed positions right here, so they're going to be exposing a lot of HP as soon as they try to move. While here getting crossfired, as you can see, their heavies are stuck between a bit of a rock and a hard place, which is the whole point of this CSA push, but they're running out of HP on their mediums. They need to be very careful.
Well, that's it, man. CSA is throwing everything they have in a basket. If they manage to crush this middle resistance by ROIDS, they will win the game no matter how low HP they remain with. If they fail and start losing tanks one by one, that will be it. That's how the cookie crumbles. But still, the hill is under control from ROIDS. The Light and Bachats are still alive. STRV in this crucial position is still alive, and they have both artists pumping. That means the longer this takes, the better for ROIDS.
Yeah, so Shockish is actually finally getting knocked out of this position. That's going to be really important for CSA if they manage to kill Shockish, because that opens up one of the angles for them, because
there's
this
so
is a
much
huge
blind
crossfire.
shooting toward him, man, but he still has to stay there and he still has to try to do damage. But never mind, one of the 907s finally managed to find it, so Failware and Shockish are both dead. That leaves only Light on top of the hill, but we still have double arty of ROIDS in effect. If Papa Pavian haven't killed the CSA arty, this would actually be super closer than it is now, and it is already close as it is.
Yeah, so we can see CSA is sort of running out of HP and tanks at the moment, but at the same time they've created themselves a lot of advantages by knocking out Shockish. They've taken off a lot of HP of ROIDS guys in the middle. There's not a lot of HP. Unji is down to just 100 HP on this position. That's again another angle that they can't really afford to lose right now.
Yeah, Insane taking out Sigo in his 907, so we have also like 3 one-shot guys on a CSA side, while on ROIDS side, honestly, not even one.
Yeah, this is turning into a bit of a game of attrition right now with just 3.5 minutes remaining. Both teams making small pushes at the moment, trying to gain the positions over each other. Jostra potentially going to drop it. He does right there to Loki, but it's getting very, very close right now. There's not much HP in it. The positions are maybe in ROIDS' favour initially, but CSA has got a lot of positions back that they lost at the beginning, and they're making it work.
The biggest problem at the moment for the ROIDS is that VZ who is holding the crown, but Alien is already there, and I believe both artists should be targeted on 430 and him. Like, definitely they should be. 430 who is still alive.
But there is something we also need to remember, and that is the fact that there's 3 minutes left and ROIDS is defending. If they just hold their positions, they don't need to make any pushes right now. So if they can hold all the positions they have, force CSA to push into them and create some sort of a crossfire, have good damage dealt on the CSA attacking tanks. And there isn't a lot of CSA vehicles. ROIDS has the vehicle advantage right now, because you got to remember, CSA has that SCRV in the back. That can't push. They have the RT in the back. Obviously it's not going to push. They only have about 6 vehicles to work with here, and that's not a lot.
Everyone is walking a fine thread here. As I said, will be the prime target, as is Alien for the RT of CSA, but we have 2 RTs on the ROIDS side and 1 on CSA. Why, honestly, watching from this perspective, that play by Papa, that was a winning shot, man.
Yeah, that was really, really crucial, because it's giving them such an advantage here in the late game, where they just have that much higher range damage, and you can see Zaf.
Did he miss him and hit the medium?
Missed the WZ and knocked out the medium.
No, working as intended. That's what exactly he wanted to hear.
Zafar, fully calculated. Easy kill. But yeah, stuff like that with the artilleries, having just 2 of those in the late game is making a huge difference right now, because it's shutting down the CSA spotters.
Yeah, Stefan is on full HP, man, in a base, and he's not gonna die easy. He will have a full easy clip here, and he will be able even to reload for the next one. This is a good cover. Arty can't touch him. These 2 guys can't really push him, so he will make a reload and come in their back. This is desperation moves coming in from CSA. They have no jokers left. Even STRV is going for the front line. You can see he's pushing toward the 277 man himself, like a TD from a back line coming to play a front line. But that's it. That's how they gotta go.
Yeah, Stefan, really the ending play right now for CSA. The last nail in the coffin, coming in again with the full clip and full HP. There's nothing they can do against that 50B right now, as much as everyone else may be low HP, and they don't have any of the positions left on the map.
Oh boy, man.
That's tough. That's a 7-1 in the final, guys. That is a tough, tough loss for CSA.
I expected much closer result. Like, these are the ending moments here coming in. They're even giving up. Saka is one of the guys, last guys, 907s and RT. They are giving up, surrendering the forces. It was a valiant fight they gave, but by the result you cannot judge it, man. I expected much closer result, like 7-3, 7-4. But again, It didn't work out.
Yeah, I think earlier on we were kind of talking privately and we agreed like 7-3, 7-4 would be kind of the area we were going to based on how CSA was playing. That we thought they were playing a lot better than that, but ROIDS today, that was 110% of a gameplay.
I really thought when I was watching the map pick and everything, because we see it in advanced guides, I thought Sand River will be 1-1. Like, that's one of the moments I got surprised.